Thomas! It's up for grabs now!
Magic ball from Bergkamp to Patrick Vieira!
Oh, would you believe it? Oh, right, what a way to get it! Well done!
Fabulous solo goal by pierre-emerick.
Afternoon and welcome to the Arsenal Lounge. 2 days now, having been away for a little while, and as promised yesterday, we have him. He's back, the man himself. Here he is. How you, Pablo? What's happening?
Yeah,
where
man,
you been? Talk to us, man. Where you been?
Good,
where you
man.
been hiding?
I'm good. Nothing, man. I've just been doing some work stuff,
Yeah,
some bobs,
Mhm.
some family stuff. But apart from that, yeah, I'm good. Good to be back. How you doing? How's everything?
Man's letting
I
that
saw the
hair
show
grow,
yesterday.
isn't it? It's
Huh?
coming back. That hair's coming back now.
Yeah, Pablo is coming back.
That's the difference between me and you. I don't have that option, man. So it is what it is, isn't it? But I'm so happy you're back, bro. So
Thanks, man.
we had the show yesterday. Me and you've been talking about a lot of things. So, you're like, hey, I want to talk a little bit more about what's happening. So, man, we've got loads of things to discuss. We've got the upcoming Burnley game on the weekend. We've got that all-important tie with Olympiacos, our bogey team. I think 5 games we've played, 5 games we haven't beaten them. I can't believe that. And then, obviously, we've also got a load of transfer news. So, man, I want to leave this to you because you're back. This is your comeback. I want to hear what you want to discuss. So you go first. What do you want to go first? What do you want to go first?
Huh?
Which one do you want to start off with first?
Either.
All right,
Should we start with the transfer news and then?
Boy, transfer news. Okay, so there's a load of things going on right now. Mikel Arteta has apparently come out with a Edu. They're already working on 6 Arsenal deals ahead of the summer transfer window.
But bro,
that's 6, bro.
We get told this every year about this time.
Right.
We're working on some big deals. There's big things. Look, imagine December. You remember? Oh, we're working on a few things. January comes, not a lot, just a loan deal. Now we're getting close to summer. Again, they're all coming out. Oh, we're working on these things. We're working on that thing. Big things happening. We've got big plans. It's going to be an overhaul of the squad. And then when it comes to it, not a lot will happen. I see today everybody's talking about Wasim Oura again.
Wasim Oura, because we got his pronunciation wrong a number of times in the past, and as Lee Judge will say, Oura. So Wasim Oura's back on the radar, but they're talking about potentially 6. Yeah, they're talking about offloading Lucas Torreira, talking about offloading Bellerin. They're also talking about offloading Lacazette.
Listen, Lacazette one. I think Lacazette one is going to be a difficult one because he's got. I think he's got this summer. He's going to have a year left on his contract, so they have to make a decision on that. Whether they either need to give him a new contract or sell him.
Well, I think they're going to sell him because if you think about it, they need to raise funds. So someone like Lacazette, you could probably get a decent amount for. Someone like Bellerin, you'll get 25, 30 million for maybe. And someone like Lucas Torreira, you can get 20, 30 million for. And the rumours are that we're going to use that money to put towards 6 other signings. So they're talking about sort of Eduardo from Celtic as a striker. They're talking about a fullback that they've been looking at, sort of Lamptey's one. There's another one abroad they've been looking at as well, and whose name escapes me at the moment, and I will find out for you in a minute. But there's hints that we'll be looking at Odegaard as a permanent signing too, because I've been really impressed with him. I see Ibrahima Konate from Leipzig is the other right back we're looking at. Yeah, so that's
he's a centre back, isn't he?
Yeah, centre back Ibrahima Konate. Yes, centre back. So, but then you've got the other things. We've got Mavropanos playing really well at the moment, and you've got Saliba smashing it up at the moment as well. So we've got 2 other centre backs to come back, but that's the rumours. We're looking at a potential 6, right back, centre back, midfield replacement. Someone a little bit more sort of expansive in the central area. And now that Isco has apparently decided to stay at Madrid, that is apparently leading sort of the way clear.
I don't think we should ever have gone in for him, to be honest.
What, for Isco?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know, man. I think we can do better. If you're going to go for Isco, I'd rather go for Wasim Oura. Listen, if there's one thing we learned from last year transfer window was that I know Thomas Partey hasn't really played that much, but
Yeah.
when he has played, the quality that he's got on the ball and the difference that he's made is very, very clear. So if we've learned anything from January transfer window, is that quality makes a difference. And I think we should be going for quality difference. Martin Odegaard, yeah, he's a good player, but I'll prefer for somebody to come in with quality on that position. You know,
Is he not
he's
quality?
he's shown bits and pieces of quality, but not consistent enough. I want somebody who come in and straight away everybody will be like, oh, that's the difference there.
He's
We're
only had
getting
a couple of games though. He's only had a couple of games, and he has made a difference. I mean, look, the other day,
I
Emil
haven't
Smith-Rowe
seen
went
so far.
off.
Come again?
The other day, Emil Smith-Rowe went off, right? Ordinarily, we would have had to try and crowbar Willian or Pepe in there. Yeah. This time we had a direct replacement, which kept us ticking over against.
I'm just talking about so far.
Okay.
You know, so far he hasn't really done something for me to be like, oh, this guy, we need to go all out for him. I just hope that this massive transfer window they're talking about is not Odegaard, this keeper that they got now on loan, ceballos, and maybe one more.
So basically, old new signings is what you're saying.
There we go. You see, so I just hope that they learn from last transfer window and they'll go for quality, whatever position it is. Look, I agree with selling Bellerin.
Yeah,
you know, yeah, I agree with that. It depends who they're gonna go for to replace Lacazette, because Lacazette is not a bad player, but obviously he's not getting any games. Remember, we've got Martinelli as well. Somehow he's not getting game time now. So if they're going to sell these guys, like Torreira, I think Guendouzi maybe will be up for sale as well. So for the first time, we actually have assets. You know, we've got players that we can sell and get money for.
Well, I mean,
that's one thing.
How much Saka's worth?
Well, yeah, Saka is going to be worth. I don't think that should even be on the table for a sell. So are they going to be able to sell these players at the right price? That's one thing, right?
Yeah.
The second thing is that are they going to be able to invest in quality players in the right areas? You know?
Well, I mean, based on the ones that they're talking about, I mean, they're quite realistic. Lamptey, I don't think is going to break the bank. I don't think Eduardo is going to break the bank. I certainly think potentially those two will.
Yeah, but would you want to go for that Eduardo guy?
I don't know, because this is where
I'm talking about, man. Quality.
Yeah, this is where I'm a bit torn, because Laka, for me, out of all the front players we have, is the only one that's able to link up with those youngsters and seems to have that understanding with them. So would we not be better off getting rid of a few others and then maybe, you know, I understand, you know, let's talk of Balogun right now. Maybe going to Leipzig or however you want to pronounce it. Some are saying he's going to stay. Some are saying he's going to go. He's taken off all his details off his social media. I can't see. It's either that they're trying to pressure us to get a deal by doing that, or they've already made a decision. If that's the case, then I can understand bringing in someone like Eduardo. But I don't know if I would like to let Lacazette go at this moment in time. But, you know, I'd like to hear people's thoughts on that. That's a difficult one, because for me, he's the one that's linking up the play right now. So
Lacazette?
Yeah.
I agree with you.
You know, who else is holding the ball up for us?
His hold-up ball is really good. Aubameyang doesn't have that.
And he's interlinking with the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe, Saka. You know, there was a prime example the other day. I was watching, I think, the Benfica game, where Saka's brought it in to Emil Smith-Rowe, made the same run he made a couple of weeks back when he was expecting that ball through. But this time, Lacazette would have been the one putting that ball through. He didn't do it. So he turned away from play. So that's one example. But, you know, Maury Memento, how you doing, bro? You're back on the scene already. Good to see you. So let's hear your thoughts on what you think is happening with the transfer window, guys. We're just running through this all now. And Pablo is back. So that's what we're doing. Let's see what else we've got to discuss. So, I mean, transfer-wise, Balogun. Kevin Campbell believes it's increasingly likely that Balogun's going to go. Do you think that's the right move or the wrong move to let him go? I mean, I'm quite impressed with him. Hey, same old Arsenal in the house. How you doing? I'm guessing that's Craig. Good to see you, bro.
Hi, Craig. Hope you're good, man.
I know Craig don't.
Thanks for the retweet.
Yeah, thanks for that as well, mate. So Shaheen, Balogun. upset about it, or you can move on?
It's a difficult one, and I'll tell
Sure.
you why. If they give him what he wants,
Mm.
which is £40,000, they're leaving themselves open a little bit because
Is that what
everybody's.
he's asking for? 40,000.
I think so. That's what I've been hearing, and everybody's going to
more
be
than
thinking,
Saka.
hold on, if he's asking for 40k and he's got that, what's stopping me going now to the board and saying this is what I want every time something happened? You know what I mean? So that's a tricky bit. Apart from that, I think they should keep him. They obviously seen something in him. I would have liked to seen him in first team, like for a run. But for some reason, he's not getting game time. Martinelli's not getting game time. I would have liked to seen him on the sub, coming on a few times to see how he'll perform, because there's a lot of hype about him, but you can't really tell until they actually get a semi-decent run. We're not on any of these cups for them to get a run.
This is what I don't understand, right? He's given Eddie a chance. He's given him quite a few chances.
Eddie's not getting a chance anymore. Have you noticed that?
He's not. But I've just been reading up on Arteta. He said the same thing he said about Ozil, which is looking ominous, because he said about Ozil, that's my fault, that he hasn't developed or hasn't got into the side. And he's now started saying that about Eddie. So that's not looking good. So then if you're going to let Eddie go, what have you got to lose giving the remainder of the season to someone like Balogun to see if he's worthwhile keeping? But then there was another thing I watched yesterday, which was very, very interesting, which was, I don't know if you have watched it, and you guys haven't watched it, do so. There was an interview with Arsene Wenger on beIN Sports with Andy Gray and Richard Keys. Yeah. And he was saying that the bubble was now burst with football. They've reached the limit with money, and they're going to start asking players to drop their salaries down. And this is going to be a regular occurrence moving forward. They're going to ask the players to take the drop on the money so they could continue football as it is, because it's very, very difficult right now. So that's what he's saying. So bearing that in mind, asking for 40k when you haven't even had a first team game, surely that's an agent problem, no?
Yeah, well, listen, his agent, again, is out there doing the best for his client. That's what happened with Ozil. And now it's up to the club to turn around and say, yes, we're going to give that to the player, and then they're going to be worried about what's going to happen afterwards, or that they really want to keep a talent at the club. Listen, at the end of the day, it's up to them to decide. I'll just trust their judgment on that, because I haven't seen it much of him to turn around and say yes or no, they should give him this money or no. But listen, for me, I think Arsenal not at the stage where we can't really sit and hope that a Balogun type will come through and he's going to be good. Because if he's not, we don't have the time, or we don't have the luxury of replacing it with somebody else. We're in a position that we need results fast, because we're slipping down the table quite quickly.
Well, look, with regards to Martinelli, for example, I'm in agreement with Craig here, right? Lads, Martinelli has just come back from a serious injury, got injured in a warm-up. See, we made a load of mistakes in the past, if you think about it. Your Wilsheres, we brought Diaby back too soon, I don't know. But we have made a lot of mistakes with the Ramseys of this world and having to force players back too quick, because we were too tight with our money to cover those positions. Wilshere happened because Cesc Fabregas got injured and we kept rushing him back. So I'm not too fussed about Martinelli. I would rather we take our time. He had a bad injury. So I'm agreeing with Craig here. We've got a super chat in here from this guy. He's back since yesterday. Yeah. Since I came back, Aaron's been back on this scene. He's doing it to me again. What's your thoughts on Lee Gunner saying he wants Arteta's head on a stick in a centre circle? Did he say that? Have you? I haven't seen that.
I saw something like that. Yeah, I saw somebody put out a tweet that apparently, I don't know if he meant it in a joke way or something, but I think that's a bit too much. Well, I know he says a lot of things that you have to take with a pinch of salt and that, but I don't know. I can't say anything for him, because it's for him to say.
Look, that's very graphic for somebody that's a human being. Firstly, secondly, it's football.
That's a bit, I think, over the top. To be honest with you.
Listen, I've got to say, now that this subject's been brought up, Aaron, I know you tried it yesterday. I had Lee and Turkish on, so that's another show, and I've got to be a little bit careful with that. But this is our own show. I'll say it how it is. We're back. I will say, with regards to the likes of these sort of comments, do you call yourself a fan by saying these sort of things? It's disgusting if he has said it, but then again, it doesn't surprise me. He's called people tapas pulis and all sorts. I don't really care. I don't really want to talk about the guy. I mean, he's probably busy selling cans of Coke and 20p profits and stuff and making 400 a day. He doesn't need to be watching this. He doesn't need YouTube, doesn't need anything. So, mate, that's another story. Aaron, thanks for your donation.
Thank you, Aaron.
I don't want to really give that guy too much of my time. I mean, we were off and he was saying all sorts. Mark Green says, Eddie will go probs West Ham. If Laka goes, it will be in the summer, as we need the cash if Balogun goes as well. That'll be 2-3 new strikers we need unless we promote Muller from under 20. Yeah, look, Muller has been making waves, isn't he? He's a big guy. He's a big, strong centre forward. Some are touting him as the new Ibrahimovic, that sort of style player. So maybe, look, this is what I say about us as fans. We don't know all the ins and outs. We don't. And those who sit there thinking they do are liars, because we don't know how Muller's coming along. They might be thinking he's the next big thing. We don't know if Balogun really isn't as good as he is, or if he's asking for more than Saka, and Saka's played how many first team games, I'll tell him to jog on as well, if that's true. So we don't know everything. There we go. More in Memento say bit edgy, but yeah, well said. Edgy.
Listen, for me, all these guys, before they're asking for money and this and that, I mean, they need to be showing that they deserve this money. I haven't seen enough of this Balogun guy to turn around and say, yeah, he's 40 grand a week. It may not, in a footballing world, 40 grand a week, it may not sound a lot in a football world, yeah? But he's just been at Arsenal Academy. He hasn't been out on loan. He hasn't smashed it anywhere. He hasn't smashed it at first team. We've just seen him put a few, score a few goals at the academy level. That's it. And then you coming through the door asking for 40k. Imagine if he gets a good run through the first team and he scores. Imagine how much he's going to ask for then. So maybe that's another thing that the club is a bit wary of, that if this will give him a contract now for 40k, he gets a good run. Next thing
he's going to be what are you going to be on next?
And I think these guys, before they ask for money, just like any business, if you're they are an employee of Arsenal Football Club. So if you're asking for money, you need to be showing that you deserve this money, not because of potential.
And would Leipzig really pay him more than us without even seeing what he's got to offer?
Yeah, I mean, look, go out on loan to a first division team or go away to a German team or somewhere, smash it then come and ask for money. Then everybody will be like, oh, you know what? This guy has gone there. He's had a good loan spell. He's coming now, ask for money. The fact that he hasn't, without having done anything, he's asking for money. It's not a good look on him.
I mean, look, this guy Mori, he's come up with some really good points in the last couple of days. Saka needs a new contract drawn up. It will increase his value. And to be fair, he is the MVP for the Arsenal. Yeah, but we've just given him a pay rise, right? We've just given him 30 grand, I think, a week.
Listen, if Saka comes through the door,
he's 17, 18.
Yeah, but if he comes through the door and says, I want a pay rise, I don't think a lot of people can argue with that.
But 19 years old.
But still, he's got something to show for it. He's got something to bargain with.
Yeah. I understand.
You know what I'm saying? He's done something. Yeah. He's been possibly our best player this season.
If I was his agent after saving us against Benfica, I'd probably be knocking on the door again.
And it will be very difficult to argue with because he's got something to bargain with. What does Balogun has? What potential?
Potentially the next Drogba, apparently, and this is what I have a problem with our fans in a sense of we all make knee-jerk decisions and reactions, and we all jump on this bandwagon, but we don't really know much about Balogun. And how many players have we had that were all touted for massive things as youngsters that disappeared? I mean, I could name a few. Zalelem, I thought he was going to be the next big thing in midfield. Disappeared. You had you've had a few, and they've all gone on to like.
There's a few that are coming. There's a few that are coming up as well. There's a few on the pipeline, and as a club, you've got to think, if we give this guy what he's asking for, what is the like of what's that guy's name? The one with the longer, Aziz or something like that. What's the like of him? What they're gonna ask for? They're gonna be, well, you've given him 40k. I've come through. I've got the potential as well. Why don't you give me 40k as well?
It's potential enough to ask for 40k.
You need to learn from this Mesut Ozil's contract. if anything. That if a player comes and you offer him big amount of money, then the next time somebody else comes for a contract negotiation, that's the level, that's the benchmark.
That's a massive point there, Shaheen, because we as fans could be hypocrites. We sit here moaning about all the poor decisions we've made financially and how much we've been paying players, and they've been sitting there making this money and doing nothing for it. And then we're having a go that we're not paying 40 grand, apparently, for somebody that we haven't even seen play. So, yeah, you've got a massive, massive point. I like to hear what other people are saying here. Have you got me on speaker, by the way? Because I can hear you bouncing back at me, Shaheen.
No.
I think young players should have largely performance-related contracts. Getting huge contracts without delivering isn't fair. That said, I don't blame the player. That club needs to be strong. Yeah, Jonathan, that's a good point, mate. James is saying maybe Arteta sees Gabby as a striker. Yep, that's another thing I've been hearing, that he's trying to develop him into a striker. So rather than rush him back, risk injury, spend more time with him on the training ground to develop him to take over as a striker. Maybe he might, maybe he won't get another striker. Maybe he'll try Gabby in that position. Aslan is saying a couple of things here. How you doing, Aslan? Merhaba, bro. Remember Graham Souness planting the Galatasaray flag on the centre circle? Yeah, man had a death wish. I don't know what he was doing with that. Maury Memento says, if you want him to be worth 100 million, he needs to earn more. Yeah, I guess. I get it. There's a few different points here. Big love from James Haddon, love from Trinidad. I'd rather be in Trinidad during lockdown than here, bro. Daniel Ford says, I am new. Good to see you, bro. I hope you're enjoying the show.
Make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe. Don't just be a... What's the word we're looking for?
Also, I just want to give a shout out to some... Tomorrow morning, there's going to be a show on the Same Old Arsenal podcast.
Is there now?
Kevin Campbell. So they're going to be going through some of the Arsenal issues also. Just everybody make sure you go on Same Old Arsenal page on Twitter. They've got the time. I think it's in the morning. I think it's 11:30 in the morning, if I'm not mistaken. Make sure you go there. It's not every day that you can ask questions from an ex-Arsenal man, but make sure you tune in and ask your question.
Good point. Maury's saying Lurko. I meant squatter. He's here. He's not subscribing. He's just sitting and watching. I'm sure he's not doing that. And welcome on board, Daniel. Got a super chat from Alexander Klapov. I think it's $5. Thank you for your support, Alexander. We need to get rid of players like El Neni and Nketiah. Need someone who is more skilled at creating chances and goals. Create a great podcast, lads. Thank you, Alexander, and good to see you, bro. I've seen you a few times. So thanks for your continued support. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, for me, and we've said this plenty of times on this show, Eddie Nketiah is not top notch, is he? I mean, I know he scored a lot of goals in under 23s and all that sort of thing, but I don't really see him cutting it at top level at Arsenal. And as for El Neni, he served his purpose, but we can replace him with someone like a Basuma, right?
I don't know about El Neni, you know.
Really? You would keep him?
No, he's a good squad player, man.
No, what? Really?
Yeah, look, listen. You've got to look at this, I think, a little bit realistically. We can't sell, 8 or 9 players and bring in 8 or 9 players. Arsenal would never do this. It's just not an Arsenal thing to do, unfortunately, as much as I would have loved this for it to happen. I think in the summer, they're going to get rid of 2 or 3 and bring in 2 or 3. They don't want to upset the squad. And I just don't see Arsenal getting rid of 4 or 5 players, selling El Neni, Torreira, Guendouzi, Lacazette, Bellerin, Nketiah. Who else have missed out? I'm not even counting the guys who left for free, who are going to leave for free. So I don't see Arsenal selling these guys and then bringing people. Because remember, right now, El Neni is a squad player. So you bring in him, he's covering every now and then for xhaka or partey.
Yeah.
So if you're selling him, you need to replace him.
Yeah, we got up our squad players though. I'd rather, instead of being relying on, say, Partey's not around, I'd rather a Basuma than El Neni.
But then that means you go and sign him. And Arsenal, I've not got a great track record of selling at high price and buying at a low price. We just don't.
Or maybe it's about to change. Maybe it's about to change.
Yeah,
that was the whole problem, wasn't it?
I hope so. But I just don't see them selling 8 or 9 players and replacing 8 or 9 players.
Yeah. And thank you for subscribing, Daniel. Look what these guys are saying, yeah? Nketiah reminds me of Dwight Gale. That's a good... You know what? Yeah, Dwight Gale actually is deemed as quite a talented young lad, and he was scoring a lot of goals up until that Premier League level.
Where is he now? Last I know, he was in Newcastle.
Newcastle, last I checked. I think, is he still there? Let me know if you guys don't know. Yeah, that's a good shout, Jonathan. He is a bit like that Dwight Gale. Does a lot of running. If he's at a lower league, he will score you goals, but he's not top level. Good shout, Jonathan Porter. Well, look, Green.
Yeah,
this is
Newcastle.
Yeah, this is an interesting question from Martin. I don't know if he's got that O in there because he is Norwegian or if it's just to represent Odegaard. Let us know, Martin. Do you think, or do you thunk, I know, I'd like to see what he's smoking. Do you thunk we have a chance at getting Grealish if we get Champions League football next season?
I think the answer is no on both occasions.
Why can't we get Grealish?
First of all, I don't think we need to go on an extremely good run from now to end of the season, and for other teams to flop a lot in order for us to get Champions League.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Champions League thing's an issue. Agree.
Yeah,
is he getting Champions League right now?
Come again?
He's not getting Champions League right now, is he?
No, he's not. But he's playing at Villa. I think there's a degree of loyalty there that is, he's just.
Yeah, it's his boy.
I think he will be sold in the summer. I think it's going to be a Harry Maguire transfer type, where it's going to be way over the top amount of money for what he's actually worth.
Hold on. Grealish is actually worth 80 million.
Yeah, but I think
there's a big difference.
I think they're going to ask for more.
What, in this climate, during this pandemic? Do you not think that's going to affect transfers this time around?
I think they will. All you need is one big transfer. All you need is for someone like Jadon Sancho to be, slapped with a price of 100 million. They're going to be like, well, if he's worth 100 million, Grealish is worth 110. And they're right.
Yeah,
he's a better player.
He's Premier League
he's a Premier League. Week in, week out, he's performing in a shit team, with all due respect to Villa. I would love him at Arsenal.
Hold on. We can't call them a shit team when they're beating us twice.
Yeah, that is true. Listen, I would love him at Arsenal.
Yeah,
I think he's a player that we should be. I don't think we should go for someone like Wasim Oa. I think we should go for someone like Jack Grealish. Yeah,
someone who's proven.
Yes, quality, proven. He's a captain of Aston Villa, so he says he's got something about him personality-wise. But I just don't see Arsenal going out there and spending crazy amount of money to get someone like Grealish. Compete with, imagine if Man United, Liverpool, and Man City decided to go for him as well. They could be offering European football. They could be offering bigger salaries, and transfer fee-wise, they'll be happy to spend that. We've got an owner that is not going to contribute. We're probably going to have a situation where you need to sell before you buy. But I would love Jack Grealish at Arsenal Football Club. I think.
Do you know what? It winds me up though, bro, because we're meant to be a top side. Now I know we're not performing as a top side, and I don't buy into all this crap where if you're not in a top six at the moment, you're no longer a top six club.
No,
right? Your history and what when Liverpool had won the title for 30 years, we didn't turn around and suddenly say they're no longer a big club. When United hadn't won the league for 23 years, and prior to that it was Busby Babes or whatever it was, because I'm not professing to be a United historian. But they weren't told that they were no longer a big club. I think your history and the amount of trophies you've won in that league makes you a big club. I'm not suggesting we're currently playing or in a position as a big club. But if we want to get there, why are we not splashing this cash?
We're not a big club, Lev. We're a massive club.
Yes. I was going to start getting stronger.
No, we're a massive club. Just look, when Arsenal... I mean, obviously, it hasn't happened now, but when we go away for these summer tours and that we'll pack out stadium overseas. There's a lot of people who can refer to Arsenal from past the Patrick Vieira days, Arsene Wenger days, Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Tony Adams. We've got things to show for. We've got a rich history, trophies, everything. We're just not acting like a big club.
We just don't have we have a rich owner. But he's not acting like a rich owner.
He's not acting. We're not acting like a big football club. We are a massive football club, but we're not acting like one. A massive football club will turn around and say, you know what? Let's sell the players. I, as an owner, will come in. Here's £100 million on top. Go and get someone like Grealish. Go and get someone like a top centre back. Go and get someone who's quality, who's going to play next to Thomas Partey. If you're going to sell Lacazette, go and buy a top quality centre forward.
Buy less, but buy quality. I'd rather we buy 3 or 4 quality players than
as I
6
said,
or 7 or 8 average players.
100%. Look, as I said, just look at Thomas Partey. Every time he comes on, it's clear that he's levels above whoever he plays next to.
Picked him up cheap though. It can be done.
Yes, we have. We were lucky because he had a break clause. If he didn't have that break clause, I don't think Atletico Madrid would have sold him for that price. But when Thomas Partey plays, you can see the quality. I want them to go and sign that sort of player, like a Jack Grealish. So from day one, when he's stepping into the field, you can see he's making a contribution. You can see there is a difference in this position now with this player. Not that you go and buy a Loney from a Madrid who can't get a game, who's got a problem with the manager. I'm not doubting his quality or his ability, nothing at all. I just think we're in a position where we need players to come in and contribute straight away. Because we don't have time.
I don't know. I like Odegaard. I like Odegaard, and I think that he has the talent. Right?
Would you have Odegaard or Grealish?
I see your point, 100%.
But
then I'll throw back at you. Are we more likely to get Odegaard or Grealish?
Odegaard.
Exactly. He might sound like a deodorant, but we're more likely to get him. You know, and you know what? I think there's more to come from Odegaard. I really do. I think I've seen glimpses of real quality. I know what you're saying with the Grealish. I think Grealish is more that number 10 last ball type player. Maybe Odegaard, he could play more central midfield a little bit
Grealish,
deeper.
When he plays, he's got physicality. He's got technique. He's got ability. He's got character. You know, I like all of these things in a player. And I think all of these things are what we don't have in our team. That's why I would like him, but it's not going to happen.
Aslan's coming for you, by the way. Where you been, Aslan? You know Aslan, right? It means lion in Turkish. Right? Did you know that, by the way?
No,
so Aslan has been coming for you. Shaheen, we are still a month away from April Fool's Day. Come on, brother. El Neni is an okay player at best. LOL. That's what he's saying to you, bro. So,
yeah, well, as I said with El Neni, I think he's a squad player. That's what it is.
Okay, all right.
If you're selling him, you need to buy another squad player.
2 things I want to ask the guys in chat. What are you thinking about what you're hearing right now? And secondly, just a side one, just a little side subject I'll come to before the end of the show. Vaccination. If you're told you've got to go to the Emirates, you've got to vaccinate to go to the Emirates, or you can't get in, are you willing to do it? Like to hear your thoughts on that. Stick that in the chat too. So, Shaheen.
There's another thing, Lev. You're talking about transfer windows. I want to throw, and I think this one has gone under the radar a little bit. Yeah.
Go on.
This whole link of Mikel Arteta to Barcelona's job.
No,
Me and you discussed this.
I don't buy it. I think it's a crock of shit.
If listen, I'll ask you a question. If Barcelona come knocking on the door, you think he will stay or think he will go?
Right. If it was the Barcelona of 5-10 years ago,
no, Barcelona up today.
No.
You think he will go?
I don't think he's going to go, and a number of reasons, right?
Right.
This is a different world to a couple of years ago. We've gone through something that is unprecedented for the last year and a bit, right? People's mentalities are changing drastically. It's not just about money anymore. It's about stability, security, safety, what's best for your family. Now, he's got kids that have been going to school probably since his days at Everton or maybe early days at Arsenal. You got to uproot them. Secondly, you've got to go to a club that's in disarray right now. They've got people going to court and prison and all sorts. They don't have the money that they used to have. They don't have that stupid money, endless amounts of money that they had. Why would you choose to go when Messi era is about to end? We all know what happens with those sort of situations. There's a transitional phase, right? And it's too uncertain. Plus, he's had a board that's given him a top job when he shouldn't really have got it. Let's be honest. He was a bit too soon in the day. He's been given boundless amount of time to try and sort this out. And he's been given backing and he's been given money. So he's in a secure situation. Why would you jump ship in an unsure environment, unsure world, go to Barcelona, don't know what's going to unearth in the next couple of months and what's happening with their finances and all that sort of thing, and leave yourself vulnerable and with a family and the pressure? No, I don't think he'll do it. I really don't think he'll do it. I think it's a load of crap.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a bit undecided on that one.
Would you go?
Look, man, at the end of the day, it's Barcelona. You got a point on everything that you're saying. But you know how these boys, these Spanish boys, they are, some of them, when Barcelona comes knocking, they don't see anything else.
Yeah, but that's not the old, this ain't the old Barcelona. If it was Barcelona with Messi smashing it up every year, right?
Yeah,
and you had,
listen, Barcelona means to some of these guys, you know. That,
why would you go for Arteta?
Listen,
why would you go for Arteta?
Bruv, I was just asking a question because it was a rumor. You know what I mean? I was like, would you think he will go or not? I don't know if he will go or not. I don't know, man.
Oh, look at this. Archangel, how you doing, bro? Good to see you again, man. I'm so glad I'm back seeing you guys. 2 true, Lev. Barcelona finished. I'm laughing. See, I don't know if they're finished, but there's also a lot of political issues because they're classed as Catalonian. They're not actually classed as Spanish. They see themselves
different languages.
And it's one of the only clubs, if not the only club, that's entirely owned by the fans. Right? Yeah. They're not getting any fan revenue for a start. They've got political issues with the fact that they want independence from Spain and Catalonia. Why would you then back Barcelona, give them the money that they need to rebuild? I don't know, mate. I just don't see it. Let me just say hello to a few other people here before we crack on. Alexandra Klapoff, we've seen you. The last Barcelona game versus Seville was insane. Yeah, that was crazy. Archangel saying, good to see you back, guys, back too. Thanks, bro. We've got a new guy in the house. I don't know how you want me to pronounce you. If I get it wrong, let me know. YMB Capo 420. Yes, fellas, big up yourselves. Big up you, YMB. So yeah, there's a few. Jonathan Porter saying the vaccination is it methadone to help with the pain of the performances? But yes, I think safety. Do you know what, Jonathan? Another good point. Take the vaccination to ease some of the stress and the pain. If you aren't vaccinated, sign a disclaimer that the club isn't responsible. Yeah, you know what? Easy. I've seen Ken Egbodo here again. Do you need to be told that to get your vaccination? What? Come on, go get your vaccination. Safeguard all of us. Interesting. Very, very interesting stuff here, guys. All right, so look, fantastic podcast. Thank you, Alexander. Aslan is last thing, Aslan, before we crack on to the next thing. We've got too many average players in our squad. We've got 7 players out on loan, plus 25 squad equals 32. We need an overhaul this summer. Sell up to 8 players, buy in 6 players. Let's move like a massive club. Aslan, you need to go and apply for a job with Edu, mate, because if you can do that, I'll be very, very happy. Guy New says, Barcelona makes 600 million profit a year. Perhaps so, mate, but that's not the Barcelona team of old, is it? It's a massive rebuild project, and it's not going to be as easy as you think, and it's also not going to be as easy to get the players that they used to from all over the world because of what's going on right now. But anyway, let's move on, because we can sit here chatting about transfer all day and we just don't know what's going to happen. So we got Burnley coming up this weekend. I've seen a few people asking here. Daniel has told us he's subscribed. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that, bro. And he was asking that question. Do we think we'll beat Burnley this weekend? So it's a very quick answer for me. I say yes, easy. But then again, who knows?
We normally have done well there, haven't we?
Do you know what? We're on a roll, and
they're not as well.
Yeah, they're not. They've just got spanked. Didn't they play after the Spurs game as well recently? Was that the last game they played? I haven't been checking their results, so let me know in the chats, guys. But I fully expect us to beat Burnley. And then we've got the tie in the Europa. Now, this is where it starts to get a bit messy. Yeah, this is where it starts to get a bit messy, because Arteta's out complaining as well, because we're going to be given a very short amount of time between the derby and that Europa leg. We're going to be traveling a round trip. I think they were talking about, is it 6,000 or 8,000
miles? Is the first one home or away?
I think the first one's away. Hence the reason we need to travel. So what he's saying is it's a massive London derby, and we have only got a couple of days in between. They did it to us with Leicester as well, didn't they? Leicester played at home. Yeah, it's away first, because I remember the home games back here. Leicester were playing their Europa tie. They were playing at home. We got sent to Olympiacos and Roma. and had to come back and play them 2-3 days later. And I
Yeah,
was
but
surprised we
Tottenham are
performed.
playing as well on Thursday, aren't they?
Are they traveling abroad? Because there must be a reason Arteta's going crazy, because he's suggesting it's unfair. And if it is and apparently it's set, there's nothing we can do about it. So it's a key time. But apparently after the Tottenham game, it's a far easier run. So these 3 games are these next 4 games are potentially crucial for us.
Tottenham are at home.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. And then they're playing in London, aren't they? They're not traveling.
Yeah. No, this Dynamo Zagreb. I think they're at home.
Yeah. So why are we traveling abroad? This is 2 Europa League back-to-back games now. They've done this to us. We're traveling abroad and they bring us back in 2-3 days break and want us to play another intense game. So that could cost us against Spurs. Archangel saying the problem was Portugal was off limits, so they tried to be fair. Yeah, I get it, Archangel, but then at least give us a couple of days grace this end or a day extra, you know. But anyway, I expect us to beat Burnley. I expect us to beat Olympiacos, or at least get a result that's going to be favourable for us on our return. The game I'm worried about is the Spurs game.
No, I think we'll beat them.
I'm not saying that, look, ordinarily, the way we are playing at the moment on form, I think we would beat them. Maybe perhaps now with the squad working the way it is, we might be able to get around it. But he's going to have to go in with his best team on that Thursday against Olympiacos.
Is Gareth Bale's coming to a better form now, isn't he?
Do you know what? It would be typical for him to come on and score or play against us and have a great game and score.
Yeah. Yeah, but we've got to listen. If we want to be serious about this,
is that true?
Chance,
this here,
what?
Arsenal chose to travel.
I don't think you can choose your fixtures.
How do you
want
choose
to be
to
home or
travel?
away.
I don't understand that.
But anyway, if we want to have any chance of being on a top 6 or top 4 potentially, or just staking a claim, we need to beat Tottenham, man. We need to beat Tottenham. Tottenham they're not on a great run of form either, but for North London derby, always form goes out the window. I remember they were shit at some point. They came and they got a 2-2 draw. Do you remember?
Well, look, if we want to climb up the table, we need to beat these teams anyway. So some would say it's a perfect time to.
If we win, 6-point gain. If we lose, 6-point loss.
We got Liverpool as well. We got Liverpool coming up as well, I think. So
Liverpool at home.
Yeah, we've got some 6-pointers here. So
we can beat, I think, Liverpool at home. Liverpool, they've got a dodgy defense now.
It depends on how we look at it. Yeah. If we really serious and we want to climb that table, you could argue this is a great opportunity. We're hitting a good run of form. We know how we're playing. We've got a lot of our players are returning. I don't know. Let's see what some are saying. We have struggled recently against Spurs. Derbies are always derbies. We could be at our best form and still struggle in a derby. Guy knew Arsenal had a choice to travel first or have Spurs travel first. They chose for Arsenal to travel first. Interesting. Cheers, Guy. Thanks for letting us know that, man. Jonathan Porter. No, Spurs had to move their tie to a home game as both. We know they can't both play home at the same time ordinarily because obviously we're from London. We know what these things are like. But I just find it a little bit unfair that we've got only a couple of days before facing them. So, Shaheen, what does Arteta do and how does he prioritize? What would you do in this situation? You got, 3
It's a
strong
difficult one, man.
games.
If there is one that I would, you can't lose North London derby at home. You can't. So you've got to win that, especially in the position that he's in with the fans. Some are Arteta in, some are Arteta out, some are just waiting to pounce on him as soon as he makes a mistake. Or he would want to win that game.
Okay.
He would want to win that game for fans, for table, for points. Europa League also is a massive game because the point with the Europa League is that it's like insurance. If you can't finish on top 4 but win the Europa League, you can get through to Champions League. Right? So again, Europa League is important because the further you go up Europa League, more money you get as well. So that's another thing that is important. So that leaves, if there is one thing that will be that can be, I don't know, is the Burnley game. But then again, you can't lose to Burnley and go beat Tottenham. So ideally, he needs to win.
It's a tough time for him because he's got a lot of back-to-back games. But at the same time, I think we're in a good position in the sense of he's finally got a squad that's hitting form. So Pepe's playing better, Willian's playing better, Partey's just returned. We might be able to getting away with someone like Burnley with El Neni and Ceballos perhaps, or something like that, and then go in with the heavier guns. Some are saying, why are we scared of Spurs? I'm not scared of Spurs. I'm just worried about how we manage the time of so many games in a short space of time with his squad and the travel. That's it. Otherwise, I think we've got enough to beat them. Chris Pantelli's in the house. How you doing, Chris? He's saying, Guy talks so much shit to get likes that feeds him and his family that said Lee Gunner seems to believe that shit. Right, it's about Lee Gunner. Okay, well, Lee doesn't seem like a very popular guy to Chris. Is what it is, Chris. Duxy, bro. Victor. We chose to travel first, play home last, which was given to us being the domestic. Everyone seems to have an opinion on it. Whichever it is, Arteta's got to balance it. Sorry, Shaheen, you were saying.
Oh, man, I was just saying, you can't really look at any of them and think, we can afford to drop a point here. Because we've already dropped our points where we shouldn't have. Villa home, Brighton away. You know what I mean? So now you're looking at Burnley away, you've got to win. Olympiacos away, maybe a 1-1 draw, or we'll take a draw on that one because it's away. Spurs at home, you've got to win. Next week, then you got Olympiacos again, you've got to win to go through.
So basically, he's just got to win.
It's a difficult one, man. It's difficult because, look, at the end of the day, this is one of those things that. Because of the recent drop of standards in the club, we're now thinking, whereas these guys are paid to win football matches, right? And they should be going out there with intention of winning every game.
Yeah.
Now, these are not difficult fixtures that you think, this is Man City away, or this is like some tough away day. We're talking about Tottenham at home, a team that are not on a great run of form. It's North London derby. If you can't get yourself up as an Arsenal player mentally and go out there on the pitch and perform and win in a North London derby, then you're in the wrong club. Then you're looking at the European ties. Again, we've got to win them. So they should be going out there and winning these games, man. None of them are difficult games that you think, we can't really win this. This is a tough fixture. They're not. They're all winnable games.
But Elias has hit the nail on the head here. Next week is probably the best week of our season in terms all the meaningful games are next week for us. All of them. Like every single game we need to win and we need to go through. So for example, we got to beat Olympiacos in 2 legs. We're at a stage where we can't afford to drop any more points.
No.
That's the worry. If we didn't have that bad start to the season with seven losses in a row, we could have got away with a draw here and there, but we're not in that position anymore. A big up to Clock Orange. Big up, lads. Nice to see you. Lee, what the hell does Lee Ginner have to do with this video? I don't know, Guy. I didn't mention anything about him. He was dropped in. I'm only responding to what's on here. We should go gung-ho away to Olympiacos, says Arcadal, and try to score 2-3. That's a good shout. I think we should try and finish it in the first leg. We've got more than enough to finish them in the first leg. I mean, to be honest with you, Benfica should have been finished in the first leg. 3 or 4-0. We could have been playing a much easier, a much weaker side. With Arsenal, we could have probably conceded 4 still. I don't know. But look, Shaheen.
Yes, mate.
Man, listen, it's a massive week. That's all I know, bro.
It's a big week coming up. And look, as a manager, you need to be sitting down and planning for this.
Of course he gets paid for it.
Exactly. They're all getting paid. The players are getting paid to go out there and perform to the highest of standards. The manager gets paid to manage these players to get results. So they need to be planning to utilize the squad in a way that would benefit us and get us the maximum outcome possible, which is, Olympiacos away, yes, maybe I'll accept a draw. But the rest, I think we should win. Burnley away.
I'm in the right camp. I'm in the same camp as who was it that said it? Was it that we should just go gung ho to win? I think we should do that. I think that we could really finish the tie off in the first leg, and then that would take a lot.
Olympiacos.
Yeah,
I think. Well, just before the Spurs game.
Listen, if we go and we just go for the jugular and finish them off, that takes a lot of pressure off coming up. Don't you think? I mean.
Yeah, but he might. But he may look at it also, and he'll be like, "Do I want to travel with a full squad, coming back with them playing in a North London derby? Would I not take a draw there and then finish them off at possibly win the North London derby? The confidence is high, morale is high, and then finish them off at the Emirates."
Yeah, but that's what we tried last season, and that ruined us, didn't it? Because we drew 1-1. We had the away goal. We thought we've got this in the bank. Took it back to the Emirates. I was there, by the way, and I was right in front of Aubameyang when he swiveled, and I thought that's a definite goal, and he missed it.
Yeah, so, remember that?
Yes, I do remember it. Unfortunately, I was right. Yeah. My seat is sort of halfway, just after halfway line towards the goal that he was shooting towards. And
do you know what? I'm not an Arteta out guy. I'm same camp as you. Whereas I'm saying he probably shouldn't have got this job and this and that. But this is times like this that I would have preferred to have maybe a more experienced manager who could deal with this situation. He's going to learn from it, hopefully, and we can come out well from it. But I would have maybe liked to have an experienced manager here to deal with this.
Okay, so we're heading towards that hour mark. So I'm gonna push you for some predictions. Yeah,
go on.
Burnley, Olympiacos, yeah, and then the Spurs game. Those three.
You want win or lose or just score? You want to score a line as well?
What, you even gonna give me scores as well? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm asking.
No. You hit me. Tell me.
I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal win against Burnley. I'll take a 1-1 draw against Olympiacos. 2-0 win against Tottenham. And 3-1 against Olympiacos.
Boy, so we're winning all of them games, yeah?
Well, you've got to, man. If you don't go there with a view of winning, then you better not turn up.
So basically, 3 back-to-back wins, no nonsense for you, including the derby.
Look, Burnley away.
You're starting to sound like me.
Listen, remember, actually, you know what, Lev, we're missing a point, yeah? These guys, they've had the whole week off.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, so now they're going Burnley away after a week off, right? So they should win. I don't think there's they should go out there with the view of winning.
Hopefully we get the job done early as well, like first half.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah, and then you go to Olympiacos away. Actually, I would understand if Mikel Arteta picks, he rotates the squad a little bit, goes there and gets a draw. Right? Even if they go out there and they lose 1-0, still it's not end of the world. Right? You come back proper, you get your team together, fresh, you go beat Tottenham. Confidence is high. Just won the North London derby. Olympiacos at Emirates, you smack them 3-1, 2-0, 3-0. Easy, no problem.
Well, look at this. Lionel Messigician. I don't know how you even say it. Messigician. Lionel Messigician. Right? Say that when you're drunk. Reckons 3-2. Thanks, Lionel. Thanks, Lionel. Cheers, mate. Right, I don't know what this one's about, but I'm going to bring it up anyway while I'm here. Osman Ali. Merhaba, bro. How you doing? I know it's not football related, but Lavanja, you should consider doing a show on the history of the Turkish peoples. I, for one, am a little confused if Turks are from the Mongoloid Turkish tribes. Interesting. Well, I am actually doing a project, something similar. I won't really go into it right now, but yeah, Mongoloid, I don't know. I think if you go right far back, there were 2 different ones, weren't there? There was 2 different tribes. I think if you watch Ertugrul on Netflix, Ertugrul Resurrection, it goes back that far, Osman. So if you haven't seen it, watch it. That's
Can I ask you something, Lev?
Yeah, go on. No, I'm not Mongoloid.
Yeah, would you be offended if I call you Kebab Lev?
Yes, I would.
Okay, I just want
I don't see what my food's got to do with anything. Like,
No,
all
just-
right, I'm Turkish, right? I'm a coach, yeah. Kebab Lev, like, what has my food got to do with anything? Like, I don't understand. All right, well, all right. Would I go to one of my mates?
because there was a.
Would I call my mate? Would I call my mate?
Tapas Pulis and all this.
Yeah.
I thought.
Why are you asking me this?
I thought you'd be offended if somebody calls you kebab.
All right. I used to play semi-pro football, right? I'll say it now. Fuck it. Lev it out. Right. I used to play semi-pro football, yeah? So, and this was a few years back. This was when I was a young kid. Back then, there weren't as many foreigners playing football, right? I'll be honest with you. I lived in North London. Now, playing in London, we were all mixed. So, do you know what? I'll be very honest. I hardly faced any racism in London. I never, ever, to be honest with you. I'll be straight. I'm not going to lie about it. Minute I got on coach trips and I played for the likes of Edgware Town, I played for Enfield, I played for Barnet, a few teams. The minute we went into Hertfordshire and then those areas a bit further out, and this was the 80s, 90s, should I say? This was the 90s. So I'm not going to lie, but I got called Dago because I didn't know what I was when I was running down the wing because I had a greasy black hair. So apparently I was Spanish. I got called Dago by some. I got called Kebab Muncher. And I've seen their sons, little kids with their dads calling me this while I'm running down the wing. So I've experienced it. So I was called a kebab muncher. I didn't like it. Why am I a kebab muncher? Like, yeah, I love kebab. I'm a kebab muncher. Don't get me wrong, man. No, that's my diet.
I just thought I'd ask you, in terms of this recent debate with Tapas Pulis,
yeah,
and everything, I just thought, would you be offended
if I called one of my boys Jerk Chicken Mikey, he wouldn't like it. Or Chinese Mo, he wouldn't like it. Like Chinese Chicken Mo or something like that. I don't see why your food should be.
There's some Ilyas. What is this, man? Turks are from Turkey, no? No, they're from Iran. Ilyas, man.
Ilyas, have a word to yourself, bro. Look, Lionel is from Izmir. He's Turkish. Merhaba, brother. What are you saying? Come on a show and telling us that Burnley's going to beat us. What's the matter with you? Chris Pantelli's new says, good show. Thanks, Chris, man. And I hope you come. Listen, guys, we want to start ramping the interest up. Yeah. So if you guys want to get involved or you want to come on some shows, message us on Twitter. You can get me on @Lavanja. DM me, message me if you want to come on a show. We've also got the official Arsenal Lounge Twitter page. We run that as well. Come on, DM us. Let us know if you want to come on. We've also got shows coming up. I think fan cam shows and things like that. So there's a lot of things going on. Ottoman Empire, Turkey owned half of Europe up to the First World War. Yes,
that's
we know
sunny,
that.
I think, no?
Is that sunny? It is sunny. Look, there's a picture.
I can tell from the tattoos on the arm. It's sunny.
Sonny, what's happening, man, bro? That's you. Hope you're good, brother. Hope you're keeping well, bro. Loving that tat and the car and all that shit. Hope everything's going well for you. Yeah, I mean, look, we know about the Ottoman Empire. You can go back further than that as well, to be honest. We settled.
There's nothing that can beat the Persian Empire.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
you couldn't beat 300. You couldn't beat 300. That's. I'm only going by the movie, by the way.
No, man, that movie is rubbish.
And
that
you know what?
Lies.
And you know what? Your Persian dude was a little bit camp, wasn't he? Xerxes.
No,
what was that his name?
Projected. You see how you projected someone's.
Xerxes looked a bit camp to me. He was stepping off that thing, going, "Yo, no, listen. If you go on your knees,
no, man, that is the biggest lie that I've seen.
Tell me that didn't happen. Tell me that didn't happen.
That movie was a disgrace, man. You can't project people's history in a way that it wasn't. If you want to make a movie about a country's history, do it properly.
Well, I don't know, man. Xerxes was a bit camp. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, the guy was a prick.
I didn't see any of our dudes doing that. Get on your knees, yeah. And if
none of our dudes did it either. The guy who made that was a cunt. That's
Darius. Is it Darius? Was it Darius?
No, it's not Darius. It's Xerxes.
Xerxes. I was right. It's Xerxes.
But he wasn't like that. He was actually a very intelligent man. Nothing like that. None of these metals and all these shit.
What? He wasn't camp and asking people to get on their knees and.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, I don't know, bro.
Last
time I met you, no, I'm only joking. No, I understand what you're saying. I mean, like, let's be honest. That interpretation from our side of things is never the best. It's Hollywood, so why would we expect anything different? But
they can do it properly. They want to project in history, then do it properly. Don't project something that is not.
Well, it's true. There was 300 Spartans, and they were all in loincloths. I just don't know if Xerxes fancied them. I don't know what was going on with that. But anyway, I don't know where we've got onto this. But
yeah, no.
Do you know what? Thanks for that, bro. Listen, a couple of Chris, it was a great pleasure having you on the show. It's true, we ain't acting like a massive club, but we are massive. You're 100% right. Ken Ogbodo is saying Spartans loves the movie. Would they have had the vaccination? Ken, I'm just asking. Just asking. Don't shoot me.
Yeah. Just before we go, guys. Before we go, please make sure you subscribe to our channel if you're new. Hit the like button. It helps us. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, same old Arsenal. I think it's at 11 o'clock. They've got a show with Kevin Campbell. Make sure you tune in and you watch that as well.
Hit those lights, guys, as well. Yeah, please hit those lights. We're back. I had a couple of weeks. We had a couple of weeks off for family matters, and we've missed this. So hit those likes. Let's get things moving. Sonny is saying, "Oh, guys, I just joined. Did you speak about summer plans? How likely, bro? Yeah, we have, man. Unfortunately, wheel it back and have a little look. And we've got some shows coming up in the. What are we doing? Fan cam tomorrow at all? Is that happening? Man. If you lot want to do fan cam, let us know. If you want to come on our show and join us live tomorrow, and we'll just have a little chin wag before the games over the weekend, let us know. Sonny, it's good to see you back. Aslan says Hollywood always portrays non-white nations as the enemy, and this is what Arsenal Lounge is all about. We talk about football, we talk about internal affairs, we talk about politics, we talk about the man's them. We don't care whether you're black, white, Turkish, Greek, English. We love you guys, and if you're Arsenal fans, even more so. So listen, you want to come on and have a chat with us, let us know. DM us, let us know how you think, and please spread the word, guys. Anything else you want to add before we go, Shaheen?
Man, that's it.
Okay, guys. So listen, I'm Levanja. That's been Shaheen, aka Pablo. He is back. Good to see everyone here. Good to see all of you here. Thanks for your support. And on that note, Shaheen, do you want to do the honors?
I shall do indeed.
Love this.
Good evening, guys.